Most people think behavior is about willpower. It isn't. Behavior forms inside systems. Outcomes are produced by structure, and identity safety determines whether change lasts or it won't. Welcome to Inside the Design, a conversational podcast from Innocent Minds, where we unpack how adult behavior actually works, why intelligent people repeat patterns, why insight alone rarely shifts outcomes, why redesign is different from trying harder. This is not therapy. This is not motivation. This is structured conversation. If you've ever wondered why you keep knowing what to do but still don't do it, you're in the right place. Welcome to Inside the Design. Tonight we start somewhere simple. Why do smart people repeat the same pattern? If intelligence solved behavior, most high achievers would have perfect lives. But look around you. They don't. Nobody does. You can understand something clearly. You can analyze it. You can even explain it to other people and still find yourself looking back at the same situation, the same type of relationship, the same burnout cycle, same overcommitment, same emotional shutdown. This is not about lack of intelligence. It is not about lack of prayer. No. It's not even about lack of effort. It is about design. Inside Innocent Minds one-on-one work, one pattern shows up again and again. Smart adults who feel really confused about themselves. They say things like, but I know better. I've read books. I've been doing trainings, and so why am I still here? Well, here's the structural answer to these. Knowing is not redesign. Insight is not architecture. Awareness is not system change. Take a moment to take that in. Alright, let's slow this down a little bit. Imagine someone who grew up being the responsible one. First daughter, first son, steady one, the fixer, the calm one. That role slowly becomes a system, not a personality, a system. It determines how they respond under pressure. It determines how they tolerate. It determines how much they carry. Now fast forward to 20 years ahead. They are now a professional or married or leading a team, and they feel so tired. But they cannot stop being the responsible one because identity safety is tied to it. Here's the important line. They are not repeating behavior, they are protecting identity. That changes everything. When behavior protects identity, effort cannot override it. Motivation cannot override it. Advice cannot override it. So what looks like stubbornness is often structural loyalty. Let's make this practical. A high-performing executive keeps saying yes to many projects. They know it's too much. They complain about exhaustion. They promise to reduce workload to their spouse, to their friends. But next quarter, same overload. Why? Because internal design equates worth with output. If they reduce output, they feel unstable, so the system restores itself. That is design. When people say, I keep sabotaging myself, most times it's not sabotage, it's system preservation. And you see, systems are intelligent. They protect what they were built to protect. Let's talk about identity safety. Identity safety means, who am I allowed to be without losing belonging, without losing value, without losing internal stability? And if your identity was built around being needed, rest will feel unsafe. If your identity was built around being strong, vulnerability will feel dangerous. If your identity was built around performing excellence, mediocrity will feel threatening. So you repeat behavior that protects identity, not because you're unaware, but because redesign feels risky. Now here's where redesign actually begins, not with trying harder, but with asking, what is this behavior protecting? That question alone shifts the ground. In many one-on-one conversations, once a person sees what their behavior is protecting, shame drops, resistance softens, because they realize they are not weak. They were structured. Let's introduce a lighter moment. Sometimes people say, so you're telling me I built my own trap? The answer is, you built a survival system. It worked. It helped you. It protected you. Now the environment has changed and the system has not been redesigned. This is not failure. It is evolution waiting. Here's something else that is very, very important. Redesign is slow because you cannot remove a system without replacing it. Someone stops over responsibility overnight but has not built internal worth outside responsibility. Anxiety will spike, so the old behavior quickly returns. And this is why insight alone changes nothing. Insight is awareness, but redesign is repetition inside a new structure. And a new structure requires containment. Containment means clear conversations, clear boundaries, clear behavioral experiments, measured shifts, and not dramatic promises. Now let's reflect this for a moment. Where in your life do you keep repeating something that you intellectually understand? Think about it. Where? What might that behavior be protecting? If you removed it today, what part of your identity will feel unstable? Now, this is not self-attack. It is observation. Inside the design is not about labeling behavior good or bad. It is about understanding structure. When you understand structure, you stop fighting yourself and you start redesigning consciously. And redesign is different from effort. Effort says try harder. Design says build differently. That difference is the foundation of sustainable change. Before we close, one last layer. You see, smart people struggle more sometimes because intelligence creates explanation. Explanation reduces urgency, but explanation does not remove structure. So if you recognize yourself in this conversation tonight, do not rush to fix. Start by observing. Ask what the system was built to protect. Ask whether that protection is still required, and if deeper structure is needed, some conversations require containers. Well, we are here. We will keep unpacking this. Welcome to Inside the Design.